The first thing we see in The Last of Us Part 2 is a close-up of a guitar.
I don't know what happened.
Not a shot of Joel or Ellie, or the world the game inhabits, but instead we see an object that reminds us of a simple promise that Joel made to Ellie at the end of Part 1. A promise to teach her how to play the instrument. This wasn't even a significant part of the first game. It was a throwaway line cued as they approached the final stretch of their journey, and is one of many similarly small exchanges between the two, some of them deeper than others. This simple promise, though, and the even simpler opening shot, reminds us of the connection between the two that was formed through their journey, whilst at the same time Joel's words remind us of the lie that's also at the centre of their relationship.
What does Ellie know? I told her they just ran some tests. I told her her immunity meant nothing.
This guitar, and the music played on the guitar,
And she believed you?
will eventually become a symbol of that relationship, but it will also come to represent something far more complex.
I didn't say otherwise.
Soon after the opening scenes, Joel comes to see Ellie and to make true on his promise. But before he does, he sings her a simple song.
Promise me that you won't laugh.
At this point, the game introduces a key mechanic. The player uses the touchpad to strum chords, with the notes shown indicating the melody. This song, and similar ones throughout the game, could have been heard entirely as part of cinematics, but by giving the players some form of agency at this point, it ends up feeling much more organic and much more human.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
Joel's words could not be more apposite.
Everything I have found here,
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me.
These words not only act as a justification for Joel's actions at the end of Part 1, but more importantly, they foreshadow Ellie's journey in Part 2. Ellie, throughout the second game, is trying to find herself again after losing Joel, but her story is overwhelmed by darkness. And as she gets closer to some sort of conclusion, the physical and metaphorical distance between her past and present self becomes a gulf. This song that Joel teaches Ellie acts as a light in the darkness, an embodiment of one of the only things that keeps her from being lost completely.
There you go.
Early on in the game, as Ellie and Dina explore the remains of downtown Seattle, they come across a music store, and Ellie finds a guitar. Thinking she's by herself, she begins to play the song she has learnt from Joel, this time in C major. But she's unable to move past the opening line.
What was that? Nothing.
This is most likely the first time she's played since Joel's death, and although she can't talk about him or the song with Dina, it prompts her to reminisce about a time when she was truly happy. This music, the guitar, and her relationship with Dina represent the best of Ellie, and allows her to find herself, even for a brief moment, within the chaos and mess. It's these instances of introspection in the game that remind us that Ellie is still in part holding on to the young girl full of aspirations that we knew from Part 1. next time Ellie finds a guitar, she again starts up Future Days, but this time she's able to sing the second line. Ellie is able to think more about Joel and is coming to terms with his death. And as a result, she's able to think more on their life together, which we experience as a flashback. This is the emotional core of the game.
After you.
It shows Joel as a father figure and friend to Ellie, but it also shows him as a teacher. And it reframes every one of her actions before and after. Ellie is mourning the loss of her father, but maybe more significantly, she's mourning the loss of her innocence. The violence at the centre of this game might, on face value, be difficult to rationalise. Every act of brutality by Ellie seems to be one step further along the self-destructive path that she has chosen to go on. But far from glorifying the violence, the game forces you to ask how it is justified by a character who, despite everything, has so much to live for. Yes, her ability to provide a cure for the virus is gone, taken away by Joel. Joel himself is gone, and the life she imagined is gone also.
Here we go.
But she has Dina, and JJ,
Right.
and music.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. When your hands are bigger.
But this isn't enough for her.
I have to finish it.
Ellie abandons her life with Dina to track down Abby, and despite thinking that killing Abby is the only way to find herself again, she can't do it. Stopped by the memory of Joel, the memory of Joel playing the guitar. Ellie returns, physically deformed, and finds that she has now lost everything. Dina, JJ, the potential of a new beginning, and also the ability to play the instrument that has meant so much to her. This music and this guitar, which throughout have been a symbol of connection, of love, of teaching, and a symbol of Joel himself, now act as a manifestation of everything Ellie has sacrificed. So the only thing she can do now is leave what she has lost behind and continue on her journey, travelling through this world alone.
I'm just a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Next month I'm beginning a new and very exciting collaboration with a number of YouTubers called The Director Project, where we all create videos on a different director each month. In November we're starting with Steven Spielberg, so look out for that on my channel. And of course, do subscribe to keep up to date with all my new videos. See you next time.